Congratulations, you made it to day 21. Or you have to start at day 21 like I did because you're having an issue with negative self-talk. Well, either way, great news, you're moving forward. You weren't where you were yesterday, so today we're heading on forward. So let me explain to you. Dishonor is the hidden enemy of your passion. And what I mean is that if you dishonor yourself, you're really cutting yourself off on the impasse. You can't get away from you. You are a spirit, you inhabit a body, and you possess a soul, and you can't get away from you. And how you speak to yourself in private or public is true, and how you treat yourself is truly something, an attitude that God pays attention to, right? Let me give you a for instance. So maybe you have you have a hard time receiving compliments, or you really don't like to think about yourself. You don't want to think that you're pretty, or you don't want to like something about yourself because people are going to think you're conceited or something like that. Okay, let me explain. I'm not talking about self-esteem. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about self-respect. Self-respect in the way God has designed us to have self-respect. How can we love a neighbor as we love ourselves if we have no self-respect? It cannot happen. We're being double-minded. We're not being humble, we're being selfish. Because we're saying, you know what, God, I know this is what you said about me, but I'm going to believe that I'm this. So you're actually elevating yourself higher. Your thoughts are higher than God. And so now, even no matter how much you want to walk in the ways of God, and you want to walk in the blessings of God, and you want to do everything the way God wants to, you have a terrible attitude. Negative self-talk. Been there, done that. The good news is, there's good news. Jesus will transform that, and it comes with your daily prayer. Part of my daily prayer, and I haven't stopped. It's been a long, long time, many, many years. Part of my daily prayer that were parts that were transformative was when I started to ask God to deal with my attitude, and I started to surrender my attitude to Him, and I started to acknowledge that I was having an attitude. I don't have an attitude. I don't have an attitude. I don't have an attitude. Not me. I don't have it. I'm humble. If God frowns with you being or extending dishonor to anyone, He even tells us through Paul, slaves, be submissive to your masters even. And so if He's requiring us to do that, how much more kinder would we be to ourselves? See, Jesus wasn't murdered, and Jesus wasn't violated. Jesus gave up His life for us. You're not being like Jesus when you are beating yourself up. God wouldn't allow me to speak to anyone as harshly as I speak to myself, and He wouldn't allow me to speak to myself about myself that way either. He requires that I have a certain amount of respect and honor. How else am I going to extend honor and respect to others? Because the truth be told, that however you treat yourself is really how you treat people. It's really how you'll treat people. You really won't have much respect, and you really won't extend much honor unless you honor and respect yourself. Not as that you're all great or suchy-muchy, but because you're precious to Christ and through Christ. So, in your prayer time today, just ask God, say, Lord, I lay down that attitude, that negative attitude I have about myself. I lay it down, Lord. I lay it down, I surrender it to you. And I confess that I have been a horrible person to myself, and I have sinned against myself, and I've said horrible things, and I pray that you will forgive me. I pray that you will forgive me. This is a prayer I do every day with myself, and I always have to keep myself in check. So I pray that this is blessing you, and go on to read day 21, follow day 21, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Be blessed.